thought it would be fun to do a how crunchy are you quiz.
I have done all of the non-crunchy things for my kids.
We love our Chick-fil-A, and those seed oils are gonna kill us, you know?
We breastfed our daughter. We breastfed.
And you never had... Okay, there's a lot of things your husband can claim,
Yes,
but not that.
He can't claim that one. See, is it like what you did with your kids or like what you wanted to do or what you want to do with your kids if you could do it over? Oh, Lord.
We should have just skipped this one. It's a little too TMI.
I'm definitely not crunchier than her, y'all, no matter what this quiz says.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Related to Motherhood podcast. I'm Marianne.
And I'm Olivia.
And our mission for this podcast is to keep stay-at-home and work-from-home moms company while we encourage you to pursue excellence in motherhood while serving the Lord and your families really well. We thought it would be fun to do a how crunchy are you quiz. So
I'm nervous.
The options online for quizzes were a little bit sketch, I would say. I had to dig to find this one, and I feel like this hits on a lot of the hot button topics.
Excited.
I think my prediction is that I'm going to be a little bit more crunchy than you.
For sure.
But not like the crunchiest.
And I'm getting crunchier.
You're getting crunchier.
I'm not the crunchiest, but I'm crunchier.
So what is crunchy?
So
I feel like most people know what crunchy is, but
a lot of people don't, though.
No?
Yeah, I actually didn't realize a lot of people didn't until recently because I said it and someone was like, "What are you talking about?"
They're not online enough.
They're not. So crunchy is someone who is trying to live a more natural lifestyle. No medications, that sort of thing.
How they run their home, what they put in their bodies, how they parent, how they birth, things like that. There will be some hot button topics in here, and I hope we can all approach it with grace and remember this is just fun and lighthearted, and it's fun to see other people's perspectives on things. In order to determine how crunchy you are, you got to get into it.
Yeah.
All right. But I do want to approach this with a lot of grace and know that we all do things differently. We all parent differently. As long as you're parenting intentionally and with purpose, for your children, and you're putting their needs first, and you're doing the research, and you're doing your best, you are a great parent. How we choose to parent has no reflection on how you choose to parent, and let's all just love and respect each other related to the choices that we make.
I'm really nervous.
Okay, so you have the quiz pulled up on your phone. It's not like a high-tech quiz where you can actually click the buttons. You're going to read it out. Or who do you want to read it out?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So you read out the questions and we'll both answer them at the same time. I'm going to write down our answers. So I'm going to have Olivia and Mary Ann. Can you see that? So you read out the question. I'll put whether we select A, B, C, or D, and then we'll find out the test results.
Yeah, and it's like you have said too, whenever you know more, you can do better. So you may listen to this and not feel anything about any of it and just be like, that was entertaining.
Yeah.
Or you may listen to it and be like, wow, I had never thought about it that way.
Yeah, let me look into that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so let's still be friends after this, okay?
Yeah, don't hate us or come for us. Okay. Okay, so the first question is, how important is it to make natural choices? A, very important, choosing natural is a top priority in almost everything. B, pretty important, but still learning what is really natural or best. C, important for some things, but not everything, it depends. D, not important, I prefer what works best, and it doesn't matter if it's natural or not.
Oh, those are long. I kind of blacked out. So I imagine the first one was like...
Very important was
very
the first
important.
one.
And then what was the second?
The second one was pretty important, but still learning what is really natural or best.
I would say that's me. I'm B.
Oh, really? I thought you were totally A.
I don't know. I mean...
I'd say I'm B and you're A.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Is this how this is going to go?
I think we should do it for each other.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you think I'm A for that?
Yes.
Okay, and you're B. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll change.
Well, do you think I'm B or do you think I'm D?
You're definitely not D. See, the thing when it comes
important
to what's
for
best,
some things, but not everything. It depends.
my approach when it comes to health and medicines and things like that is to just do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have like some crunchy supplies, some homeopathy, some essential oils, all that stuff in my cabinet. And then typically when we get sick, we just kind of do nothing.
Yeah.
So we don't put any crap in our bodies, and we forget to do the crunchy
natural stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go A.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think you're A. I think you're crazy if you're not.
My kids have never had like a Tylenol or a Motrin or literally any pharmaceutical of any kind. And they're still kicking. Yeah. So when they're in pain, we just nurse, take hot baths together. Like I'll lay in the bath, Epsom salt, a little essential oil. They'll lay on top of me skin to skin. So I guess that's pretty crunchy.
Yeah, it's the crunchiest, girl. You're the crunchy queen. Question number 2 is, where do you have your babies? Do you have them at home, of course, which is A. B is home birth with a midwife or in a birthing center. C, trying for a natural birth in the hospital and won't be upset if I take the drugs. We'll see how it goes. D, give me the drugs. I'm fine with non-medical induction and C-section too.
So what are you?
So I'm done having babies and I had 2 C-sections. So I guess that answers that question. But disclaimer, I was not in the slightest crunchy whenever I had babies. My youngest is 4. So if I could have a do-over now, I would definitely try for natural and unmedicated and all of those things.
So you think, but you wouldn't ever go home birth or birth center?
I would maybe do home birth.
I could totally see you home birthing.
Listen,
like
she is literally... This is, I mean, I probably will talk about this at some point. I had my tubes tied after we had our son, so 4 years ago. And Mary has literally low-key tried to talk me into getting the reversal just so I could have a home birth and do all the crunchy things.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't want to coerce you or make you feel bad. But I'm just saying you would rock
No, I know.
You would rock it. And
when I say you've talked me into it, I mean that you've made me believe in myself that I could do it.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with birth. I love, I was going to say I love pregnancy, but that was a little rough. I just love birth and laboring and all that. And my Instagram explore page is literally all like naked, you know, and babies coming out like full blast. You can see the whole thing. And my daughter and I love watching them together, and it's just so beautiful, and it makes me cry. And women are so powerful, and we were built to birth, you know. And so I am for sure A in my hopes and dreams, and Lord, please bless me with another baby so I can do it. But both of my previous babies were delivered in a hospital, unmedicated, and every part of it was beautiful except the hospital part. So that kind of sucks.
You were planning for home births?
Yes.
For both of them?
So for my firstborn, we were planning for a birth center birth, and we'd been preparing for that. And then 2 weeks before her due date, all the birth centers in our area shut down from COVID. And I last minute was freaking out. I hired a doula like 2 weeks before her due date. And then we used our doula support in the hospital setting. I was not going to walk through those doors until she was coming out of me. I was just so determined. But we lived too far from a hospital to do a home birth, legally with a midwife assisted home birth. And so it was really sad and devastating for me to have to give birth in the hospital. And then with my second, I don't even remember how it all played out, but basically it would have been like $6,000 or $7,000 to do a home birth. And that just wasn't something, it would have been a pretty big sacrifice in order to do that. And so I thought to myself, I've done it before, unmedicated in the hospital, I'll do it again. And I did. But looking back, I'm like, I just wish we had done a payment plan or something, because you don't get that experience back. And so I'm wanting one more chance at least to get my home birth. She needs
one more chance so that I can come and experience it with her.
Yeah. You can be like my children's doula, because my children need their own doula, because I want them to be there and experience it with me. But also I get loud at the end. Very vocal, and it might terrify particularly my daughter.
Yes. Oh my
she
gracious.
Gets scared of the easiest things.
Yeah, she does. In church on Sunday, she was a little shaken.
I know. We went to a mega church, visited a mega church for family members' baptism on Sunday. And when everything got dark and like the bass starts bumping and you feel your blood boil, it like shaking.
Boiling in a good way.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But my daughter was a little scared.
She was snuggling Livy, that's for sure. Okay, so
wait, what was I? I chose
you
A.
were A. Yep.
And you chose
C.
C?
I would
Probably C.
change now. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay. The third question is, how do you feel about breastfeeding? A, it's super important and should continue until baby chooses to self-wean. If I couldn't breastfeed, I would seek out donor milk or make homemade formula. That person's committed.
That's me. I'm an A.
B, pretty important for the first couple of years. If I couldn't breastfeed, I would use store-bought organic formula. C, important but not make or break. I would prefer to breastfeed and would use store-bought regular formula if I couldn't. D, doesn't matter. Mom can feed baby however she wants. There are no significant long-term differences between breastfeeding and formula feeding.
All right, what are you?
I am not A, but I would say that I'm B.
I think you're B.
Yeah.
You breastfed both your babies for how long?
We breastfed our daughter. We breastfed.
And you never had. Okay, there's a lot of things your husband can claim,
Yes,
but not that.
He can't claim that one. I breastfed our daughter for almost 2 years. I was pregnant again by the time right before she turned 2. And I just felt like, okay, I need to have my body back to myself a little bit. Our son, I only breastfed. I don't know why I keep saying that. I only breastfed him for 8 months. He was not a fan. Now, no kidding, my 7-year-old would probably still be breastfeeding today if I allowed her.
That's what I'm worried about.
Listen, she was obsessed and our son just wasn't. So but I will tell you, this is a little crunchy and a little controversial. Like the health benefits of the health of our kids, we can definitely see a direct correlation between her extended breastfeeding and just she has a healthier palate of eating and all of those things. I don't know that it has anything to do with it, but that's the only difference that I've been able to point out. So
I'm still nursing my 3-year-old. So when I became a mom 3 years and 2 months ago, I started breastfeeding and I haven't gone a day since without nursing. I'm thinking I'm going to probably wean my daughter and son at the same time because he's 1 year and 2 months old. She's 3 years and 2 months old. And he's not nearly as interested in it as she was. He can go all day without it. And my nipples lately have been tore up from one little incident we had with his teeth.
those teeth.
But, so yes, I'm an extended breastfeeding girly. I've loved it. I think there's huge health benefits and I just love it. But I think our time together is wrapping up. Maybe we'll see if we're, a year from now, the podcast, we'll see if
Mary feels the way about breastfeeding that I feel about sleep training my kids. It might happen next week, but it'll probably happen in a month.
Yeah.
Or a year.
Yeah, that's exactly true. One day, like today, I might be, oh, you know what? Let's wean. Like, I'm ready for this to be over. And then the next day, I'm just like, oh, it's not a problem. Like, it's fine.
My nipples don't hurt today.
Yeah, they really are healing.
I'm glad your nipples are doing good. Okay. The fourth question is, how do you feel about organic food? A, we buy organic exclusively or as much as possible, or food that is grown using organic standards. We grow our own if we can. B, I prefer to buy organic food as much as I can, but it's not a must for me. C, I buy some organic, but won't go out of my way, especially if it's more expensive. D, I don't buy organic. There's no proof that it's nutritionally better, and it may be kind of a scam.
Okay, so I think in some ways it may be kind of a scam, like marketing and that sort of thing. But there are a lot of products that if they're labeled organic, they weren't able to be sprayed with glyphosate and things like that. And so while the nutritional quality might not be different, you are not receiving certain amounts of trace pesticides, although there might be other types of pesticides used. So I'm going to go with B, because we do almost buy exclusively organic, but we don't, I'm not going to not eat something because it's not organic, and we don't grow our own food yet. You're going to inspire me. This fall, I'm doing a fall garden.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so I'm going to be B. What are you?
So I'm like a split between A and B, because we do try and grow a lot of our vegetables and things like that. We get our milk, things like that we know are organic, but
we both buy raw milk.
Yeah.
We both use
for our pets. We buy raw milk
for the
our
baby
pets.
cows we have in the backyard. Yes.
For the kittens.
Not for human consumption. And then you make your own eggs. You grow some.
I make my own eggs. I literally.
You raise the chickens that make your own eggs.
Yes.
And then you grow some of your own produce. But
some.
you don't buy organically, exclusively organic.
I try to.
Let's go with A for you.
Yeah.
You grow your own food. You deserve an A.
I grow squash. That's the only thing I've been able to grow so far. We eat a lot of squash. Okay.
All right. Have you made any of your own cheese or butter yet?
A lot of butter.
Oh,
No cheese yet.
You make your own butter. You deserve an A.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So question number 5 is, do you get vaccines? A, absolutely not. They're dangerous and we would never. B, I'm on the fence about this, but lean against most vaccines. C, I think the schedule is a little aggressive, but vaccines are generally a good thing, and I think most are needed. D, vaccines are safe and effective and should be mandated.
What are you?
So, another, just like the whole C-section thing, my views on vaccines have changed drastically within the last year. And I would never, no. Like, we don't even vaccinate our pets.
I'm also an A. Neither one of my kids have any, like I said, any pharmaceuticals at all, and that includes vaccinations. And that is, I don't want to get into it. I'm not going to. But
Don't you comment.
But just know, for us and our family, this is a very intentional decision we've made with a lot of research, and it's this decision that we made. So we're both A.
Yeah. Okay.
Ugh, my heart's racing.
I know. That was a little intense. So question number 6, how do you feel about circumcision? Oof. A, absolutely against it. It's genital mutilation and human rights issue. Bless. It's got really deep. B, leaning against but still on the fence about it. C, it's a parent's choice. D, most boys should be circumcised because it's healthier and cleaner.
So I'm A. I don't believe it's like, I would never describe it as mutilation and a human rights issue, but not to give my son's business out, but we just, A. What are you?
Oh, Lord.
We should have just skipped this one. It's a little too TMI. But honestly, go watch. I actually haven't watched it because time. But I think Candace Owens on YouTube or something has done a whole series on it. So if you want to look into it, America really is the only country that widespread circumcises for not religious reasons. And we've not had a single issue. So...
So, like I said, this is a repetitive thing here. I had a C-section. I vaccinated my kids, and our son is circumcised. But the more you know. But too bad I'm done having kids.
So you would go with, like, I'm not giving you another A. So, like, B.
No,
C?
I would say that I'm C. I would say I'm a B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not giving me another A. Okay.
You're not going to
I am failing this, y'all.
You're not going to beat me at this. No, honestly, we're about tied.
Okay, good. Okay, question number 7. Do you cloth diapers? A, of course, it's the healthiest and most cost-effective choice. B, sometimes, or I want to, we do some natural disposables on the go, or if we're really busy. C, no, although I thought about it, we use disposables, sometimes natural ones if we can afford. D, no, they're unsanitary. Regular disposables are just fine.
Okay, so this is funny. While I was pregnant with my first, I bought a whole stash of cloth diapers, like the really nice Nora's Nursery, adorable. I bought the special bamboo inserts, and I have like 30 of them in a tub. Mm-hmm. Never use them. Mm-hmm. But I thought, I'm going to keep them because with my son, I was pregnant with my son, and I thought, we're going to do this. Mm-hmm. We're going to use them. I'm going to keep them. Never did it. So which one was like the organic diapers?
The natural ones if we can afford it.
Yeah, that one. Is that
so
B?
C.
Oh, what was B? Oh.
Sometimes, or I want to, we do some natural disposables on the go if we're really busy. But you don't sometimes. So you're C, girl. You are a C.
I'm a C. Okay.
Well, I'm worse than she is.
But I keep the cloth diapers because it's my insurance. Mm-hmm. Like if there is a diaper shortage, that's a serious concern in today's economy. Mm-hmm. If there's a diaper shortage or if we ever can't afford diapers, we got a whole stash of cloth diapers in our garage. And our babysitter, whom we love a lot, I'm sure she's going to cloth diaper because she's Miss Crunchy Pants. Mm-hmm. And she can use my Nora's Nursery stash.
We cannot wait to have her on the podcast. I'm just going to teach y'all so much crunch.
But I will say, I feel immense amount of guilt for all the diapers that I put in the landfill. Mm-hmm. And with baby number 3, we're going to try it. I just have to get my laundry system on lock because it's one thing to have regular laundry piled up. It's another thing to have poopy diapers piled up.
Okay, my kids
I feel like I should get a C+.
Yeah,
for having a stash of cloth diapers.
For them being in the same vicinity as you, yes. Question number 8. How do you feel about co-sleeping and cry it out? Which I think are 2 very different questions and they should have been split up, but not my quiz. A, co-sleeping is the only way I do things until or unless my child is no longer wanted to. We have a family bed or room. I'd never let my baby cry it out. Okay, that was a very confusing A. Okay,
so you're definitely an A though. We're just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Because you're totally a family bed, sleep with your kids till they're in high school type family.
Yes. The only one that I don't know that makes me an A is that I never let my baby cry it out. Because I guess I didn't because they slept with me. So they didn't cry.
They never. So you're saying you would have let them cry it out.
I mean, I wish I would.
But they were just right up on your boobie.
Yeah, the whole time. They couldn't because they were too busy eating.
Yeah. Okay, what's B?
Goodness.
I'm probably B.
I'd like to, at least for the first several months. I'd prefer to avoid cry it out, especially in the first year. C, I'm into room sharing for the first several months, but I don't know if I'd ever bed share. I may use cry it out after the first several months to encourage sleeping.
Yeah, this question is so not.
I feel like they're just 2 completely different questions.
Okay, so we do bassinet right next to the bed for the first several months, and then they go to their own room. But in general, we don't do cry it out. Now that our son is over a year old, sometimes we do let him cry for a little while to make, and then he puts himself to sleep. But for the most part, he's soothed when he needs to be soothed, and especially the first 6+ months, we don't do cry it out. But we're not bed sharing people because I would never get to sleep with my husband, seriously, because he can't sleep in the bed with the baby.
Yeah.
So I can sleep in the bed with the baby, but it's either the baby or him. So we compromise with the little bassinet right next to the bed. I'm not against co-sleeping though, and I think I'm going to get another C.
I'm definitely not crunchier than her, y'all, no matter what this quiz says.
So am I a C? What was C?
C was, I'm into room sharing for the first several months, but I don't know if I'd ever bed share.
Okay, I'll just go with C because in general, I don't bed share because of the husband situation.
See, this one's conflicting though, because I don't want for it to be this way. I want for them to cry it out. I want for them to be in their own room. So, I mean, I think I'm a D.
What is D?
But I've made myself an A.
What was
Okay,
D?
no. D is not me. It says co-sleeping is dangerous. I don't think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And babies should be sleeping in their own beds and rooms as soon as possible. I would say I want to be a C, but I've made myself an A.
Okay, you lucky son of a gun get an A again, and I'm going C. I'm going B. I'm giving myself a B.
Okay.
Because
I'd like to, at least for the first several months, I'd prefer to avoid cry it out, especially in the first year, which is accurate.
Yeah.
Your bed sharing, it's attached to your bed, essentially.
yes, and I would bed share if it wasn't for my husband. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Not your problem. Okay.
I'm cheating and giving myself a B. Okay.
Gosh, she cannot lose. Question number 9. How do you treat illness in general? A, at home almost always with herbs and other natural remedies. Mainstream medicine is only for extreme emergencies. B, I try to use natural remedies, but I'm not super familiar with them. If my child is very uncomfortable, I will definitely use conventional options. C, I'm okay with natural remedies for minor things like sniffles or tummy ache, but real illnesses usually should go to the doctor. D, I call the doctor or use real medicines. Natural remedies won't work.
These questions are so
She
biased.
loved this quiz.
So we're definitely A.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids never go to the doctor. We never go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with everything at home, but we've only dealt with little things.
Right.
It's not like we'd break an arm and not go to the doctor. We deal with fevers and rashes and tummy aches and that sort of thing at home. But I feel like the question's a little biased because the letter C, it said something like, what did C say?
I'm okay with natural remedies for minor things like sniffles or a tummy ache, but real illnesses, I usually go to the doctor.
So I don't know what real illnesses would. I guess probably a fever people would consider a real illness. So we deal with all of that at home. And
See, when
we've
I
never
think
had an
real
issue.
illness, I think like appendicitis.
Yeah.
Or like...
It seems a little biased because, yeah, if we had appendicitis or like
Right.
extreme pain of our heart or in our bladder or
Right.
like our eye got gouged or something, we would definitely go to the doctor. Like, praise the Lord for modern medicine when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
But for your typical like rash, fever, pink eye, all that sort of stuff, we've always dealt with it ourselves, and it's been awesome. And I will say, like fevers, for example, our kids have had a few fevers in their lives, and it does get a little bit, it's a little bit scary when you see your child in pain and you're monitoring their fever and it's, not going down yet and that sort of thing. But then you do the things you've been trained to do. We do a lot of nursing. We do like family baths where I'll lay in the bath and they'll do skin to skin on me and I'll help regulate them that way. We'll do cold towels, lots of fluids, and we're monitoring it closely. But then when they pull through it, you feel so empowered.
Yeah.
Like their bodies just kicked that. Their bodies just kicked that. And we didn't mess with their gut biome or anything with pharmaceuticals. And so there is a time and place, in my opinion. But I also think it's really empowering to watch our bodies heal themselves.
Y'all are going to be so tired of me by the end of this because I have done all of the non-crunchy things for my kids. Natural remedies I'm super into and intrigued by. I think I've talked to you a little bit about it. I just literally believe that God gave us everything to heal our bodies. So yeah, we still have medication for backup, but we haven't had to use it yet because of just, changing, like making sure we're out in the sunlight and things like that,
So what are you giving yourself?
See, is it like what you did with your kids or like what you wanted to do or what you want to do with your kids if you could do it over? I'd say B, which is I try to use natural remedies, but I'm not super familiar with them. If my child is very uncomfortable, I will definitely use conventional options.
Yeah, that's definitely you.
Yeah. Okay, so question number 10 is how do you clean your home? I love this one.
I feel like you're going to win this quiz.
Okay, but it's because this quiz, I'm sorry if you made this quiz, is not great. We need to make a new one. Okay, question number 10 is, how do you clean your home? A, with mostly baking soda, vinegar, essential oils, and other natural things. I make some of my own cleaners. B, I buy store-bought natural cleaners when I can. C, I use some natural options, but I'm not afraid to pull out the big guns to make sure my home is sanitized. D, I use whatever is readily available at the store. It's important to use chemical cleaners to ensure that a home is truly clean.
What are you?
I'm definitely A.
Yes, you're definitely A. And I'm giving myself an A too.
Mm-hmm.
Because our primary...
because she doesn't use vinegar or baking soda. She uses water.
Our primary source of cleaning are Honest baby wipes. Seriously, there's Honest baby wipes everywhere, and that's what we use to wipe up everything. And occasionally we pull out the big guns of vinegar. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll use like this natural posing spray from Target, but we ran out of that a while ago and I haven't replaced it. Yeah, like soap and water.
So this is the question though, and you and I actually just recently talked about this, and I think that we agree about this. So we did all vinegar, we did natural detergents and all that. Okay, so maybe I'm not an A. We have gone back to like free and clear detergent, which still has chemicals.
You haven't.
We did.
What was wrong with Molly Suds?
I hate it.
I love Molly Suds.
I know you do, but my clothes smelled like butt.
Did you get the lavender?
Yeah, I got the peppermint, not the lavender.
I think we use lavender Molly Suds. Highly recommend. We love it.
Yeah.
My husband loves it, which he's judgy when it comes to that stuff.
We did do free and clear, which I was still kind of proud of. Listen, we used to use Gain.
Yeah.
I used to go to work and our employees would tell us, your clothes smell so good. That's not a compliment. Like, they can smell the perfume.
When we go on walks around our neighborhood, there's this one house.
And you could literally smell it from their house. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're pumping it out of their house like Taco Bell pumps their smell out to convince you to come in. Yeah, I'm not about that smell anymore, though.
Yeah. I'm actually super sensitive toward smells like that now. Like, I have people that I love dearly, and you walk into their house, and it's a headache because of just all the artificial fragrance.
I think my one weakness when it comes to crunchy cleaning is I love me some Dawn dish soap.
Yeah.
That stuff works.
Mm-hmm. So my one, not besides the laundry detergent, which I guess is huge, is I still got me a big old jug of bleach in my house. And I don't use it every day, but if someone's got the stomach bug.
My husband loves bleach. I'm not about it.
Yeah. If someone has the stomach bug, like, I need some bleach to wash some sheets.
All right, I'm giving you a B.
Okay. I've lost my reign.
But because I use almost nothing, I get an A.
Question number 11 is, how do you or will you educate your kids? A, homeschooling, unschooling all the way. I may consider a school.
I didn't know I was going to say.
Yeah. I may consider a school if it were Sudbury or Montessori, but most likely homeschooling. B, I'm not sure, but I'm exploring Montessori, Waldorf, or homeschooling as possibilities. C, I think the public schools have some issues, but my kids will probably go there. D, public school for sure. It's the best and most affordable option for most families. C, I'm assuming this is a her. It's
all very biased.
D is like, no one thinks that public schools for sure is the best. No one thinks it's the best. I don't know one person that is like, public school is the best.
I do think some people think that.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think they do.
That is wild. I'm sorry. That is wild. Okay. So, Mary, you're an A. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, I'm definitely fine. A. And it's not, I like to approach it not from like an anti-public school stance, but from like a pro homeschooling stance. Like, I'm so excited about it. My kids are only 1 and 3, so we have a few more years before we really get into it. But I'm so excited about what it will give our kids. Like the freedom to explore their own interests and the satisfaction that I know I'll get from teaching them. Like, I've taught my 3-year-old how to swim, and I'm doing in my opinion, great on teaching my 1-year-old how to swim. And the joy that gives me from me having taught them that, it's incredible. And I can't wait to teach them how to learn how to read, and to teach them math, and to teach them about, like, to teach my daughter about her menstrual cycle, and to teach them about the nature around them. Like, I think it's going to be incredible. I think it's the only thing that makes sense for our family's lifestyle, scheduling wise. Like, my husband works from home. I help support him in that. And I just want us to be together and living life together, and like a family unit, where our mantra, we say it almost every day, is we're the Sanders family. We are and my daughter says team. Like, we're a team. And I love the idea of homeschooling.
Yeah. So we do homeschool, and our little girl actually did go to like brick and mortar school for kindergarten and for first grade.
She fell behind because they weren't
very, very behind.
They weren't teaching her the way she needed to learn.
Yeah. So if you are someone who needs to, like, someone to talk to about what's going on, then I'm probably a really good person, because she fell very behind. And mind you, she went to a private school. Like, it's supposed to be and I'm not hating. I mean, I think the teachers are incredible, whatever.
She's not a very outspoken person to be like, hey, I don't understand this.
Right.
She probably was just like trying to blend in, and that's a lot of kids.
So our experience was whenever we lived in Gainesville in our tiny apartment, which we've kind of told y'all about, she went to a school. I worked at the school. It was great. I was there with her. We got to spend a lot of time with each other. Her teacher was incredible. She and I agreed that we wanted to both hold her back, just because maturity wise, and because there were things that she just didn't master. And then we moved and came to we were going to take her to a different private school, and they made her take a placement test, and we're like, hey, she needs to take this placement test. Well, she did incredible on it, and they begged me not to hold her back. And I wish that I would not have ever listened, because now we have to make up a year in homeschool, which is super fun. But I'm actually, and this is kind of shocking, I'm more into like the unschooling, I think. Like them just learning through life, like going through the grocery store. And
my philosophy on life aligns with unschooling, but it scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I do.
It freaks my husband out too.
So I like the idea of it for certain families, for certain kids. But I also, and I'm all against like every kid needs to master everything at the same time based on their age. Like, I'm against that. But I also I was always very academically motivated and a high achiever. And I don't want my kids to try to get into college and be behind. So it just depends on what your goals are for your kids, and as they grow, what their goals are. So I don't know. I don't really know how, in practicality, how unschooling would work. I follow some Instagram accounts that I love. Shout out to Raven Kramer, who say they do unschooling, but I still see her sitting down doing book work with her kids. So I don't really quite understand it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like I said, it just means that you were really focusing on teaching them like through everyday life, instead of it being like for instance, our homeschool year started a couple of weeks ago, and we sit down for maybe an hour a day and do like book work. And then the rest, and we only do it a couple of days a week. We try and shoot for 3 days a week, but the rest is through, hey, it's, like before bed, like, let's read together, or we're going to the grocery store. Can you go over there and grab me, this many of whatever? Like, that is so important to me. And I will tell you that we have watched our little girl just light up on learning ever since started
at her age in particular. Number one goal is to get them to love learning. And if you just pound the love for learning out of them, then it's gonna be an uphill battle the rest of their schooling.
Agreed. Question number 12 is, how do you feel about discipline? A, gentle discipline all the way. We use time ends, firm boundaries, lovely, blah, blah, blah. B, I would like to do more positive parenting, but I'm not sure it always works and I don't always know what to do. C, positive discipline works for some kids, but not others. Some kids need to be spanked now and then. D, the current generation is much more disrespectful and entitled because they have been given firm boundaries and weren't spanked for crossing them. I will definitely spank my children when they need it.
What are you?
Whew! This one's hard because, okay, I guess I think that every kid is different and some kids need different things. We definitely are gentle parents. We're working on being gentle parents because that's something that we have to work on. We have spanked in the past and we probably will again.
So what letter are you giving yourself?
I'm not a D because that sounds awful, but I'm not an A either.
I'm going to give myself a B. All that was wish-wash. Like, I don't even know what any of that means. But I will say we only have a 3-year-old, and she's a very strong-willed 3-year-old. And we go through ebbs and flows of, like, we're in an ebb right now. Would ebb be bad? Yeah, we're in an ebb right now. And, yeah, we're just trying to figure out the discipline because it only being positive, like reinforcing positive behavior, I'm all about it. But, like, some of this negative, bad behavior needs to be disciplined. And so we're working out what exactly that discipline looks like for us. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And I think every kid is different because some kids, I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I haven't mastered it. When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Are you a B or a C?
I guess a C.
Yay.
She's saying yay because she wants to win.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I have a C too. But you have 3 C's.
Okay, so the results, mostly A's.
All right, first let's count them up.
Okay.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 A's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 B's. And 1, 2, 3 C's. So you're mostly B's. And then I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 A's. 1, 2, 3, 4 B's. And 1 C. That seems like a very not scientific way to grade. But, whatever.
So mostly A's. Did you get mostly A's?
So I'm mostly A's.
Okay, you're Ultra Crunch.
I'm Ultra Crunch. What's it say?
Come on. Even before you took the quiz, you knew. I knew too. You're into all the crunchy things and you have been for a while. Maybe you grew up crunchy or maybe you discovered it early in adulthood. Either way, it's just how you do life. There's not a lot that surprises you and that you wouldn't do in the natural world. Yeah,
I will say, what is the thing that I bought and then I'm too scared to do?
Oh, okay. And this is going back to the
Zeolite?
The Zeolite, yeah. So we bought Zeolite because we did vaccinate our kids and we wanted to detox them of all the metals. And Mary won't do it because she's too afraid.
Yeah, I don't want to see worms in my poop.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that on this episode, but if you need a good detox, go get you some Zeolite because that stuff is crazy.
Be careful what you say because people are getting tore up online about that. Did you see that?
About the Zeolite?
Yeah. People, it's it's a hot button, like, shame fest over there.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, don't come for me, but if you having some issues,
yeah,
take
it's
some
in
Zeolite.
my kitchen.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might try it.
It's wild. Just be prepared.
Yeah. So when it says to, like, there's not much crunchy I wouldn't try, I have yet to do an enema. Is that what it's called? Enema.
An enema. An enema. Oh my gosh.
All right. And you're B.
I'm mostly B's.
Yeah.
Crunch and training.
Mm-hmm.
A crunchy.
So you.
I know.
Your new nickname is going to be My Little Crunch. My Little Crunch and Training.
Crunch. All right. A crunchy lifestyle is newer to you and you sometimes still surprise. Oh, hold on. And you sometimes. This person has awful English. A crunchy lifestyle is newer to you and sometimes still surprises you or worries you, but you're interested and ready to learn more. Maybe not everything is for you, but you're pretty into most of it. So that's me.
I would say that was accurate for both of us. My main weakness, like I already said, is the Chick-fil-A and the Dunkin' Donuts.
And Dawn.
And Dawn dish soap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you at least buy the Dawn that doesn't have the coloring in it?
It's the blue Dawn.
I know. So it has coloring. You can get the free and clear Dawn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I really just need to find some. I mean, there's the Castile soap.
Which I love.
Does it work? I don't feel like it works as well.
I don't think it works super well with dishes. What we do is, this is real crunchy. We mix it with aloe.
For what?
And make like a soap. Makes it really sudsy.
Oh.
We mix it with
We
George's
buy the
aloe.
Big Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, and that's what we use for my daughter's bubble baths.
Yeah,
so we wash our dishes with Dawn, but I'm, not washing my kids with Dawn, so that's a win.
Praise God for that. Lord. So yeah, you're super crunchy. I'm a little crunchy.
All right. We will leave this quiz in the description of the podcast. If you want to take it, we'd love to hear what your results are. We don't want any feedback about how we live our lives.
Don't.
Keep it to yourself. Judge in silence. And this was a really fun episode.
It was.
I love doing this fun stuff with you. It's almost like a sleepover, but at 10 a.m.
It's not 10 a.m. It's 12:44. But yeah.
No, it is not. We're running late.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. So maybe some of this stuff like you had never heard before, which I think a lot of people are switching to this more natural lifestyle, that sort of thing.
I think a lot of people are feeling judgment for doing it too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to extend breastfeed, but not tell anyone. Like I have a friend who, when she found out I'm still breastfeeding, she's like, oh my gosh, me too. Like me too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you decide not to, which I mean, vaccinations is a medical decision. I don't think you should. I think you should try to keep it to yourself. But that you're just kind of like, oh, I'm doing it on the down low. Or
yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like you're going to be judged for it on either side. So maybe you heard some of this and made you think about it, or maybe you heard some of it and you're like, they're wild, and that's fine too. But maybe you learned something. Hopefully it was entertaining at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun episode. Now that you literally know everything about, I feel like that episode that taught y'all a lot about us.
I know. I feel a little exposed.
I know. I do too. Did you read the questions before you said that?
Only the first couple.
Oh,
and then
Lord.
I didn't actually do it for myself. I didn't get the quiz results, so I didn't know
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I was just like,
you wanted it to be authentic and raw.
Well, the other crunchy quizzes I found didn't mention like breastfeeding or anything. And I think that's a huge, and co-sleeping. And I don't know. This one didn't mention baby wearing though. And I feel like you aren't a crunchy mom unless you baby wear.
Yeah. Baby wore the crap out of my kids.
A lot of the other quizzes didn't have cloth diapering and stuff. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that's strange.
If you're a crunchy mom, see, I shouldn't have gotten extra crunchy as my test result simply from using disposable diapers. I mean, that puts crunchy moms they're going to be scoffing at me.
They are. And your Dawn.
Yeah. We're all on a spectrum of doing our best.
Yeah, and I will tell you that a year ago I was not crunchy at all. So it's
you've made an absolute transformation.
This goes to prove, and we talked about this in one of our other episodes, that it's okay to change your mind when you learn something more about whatever. And that's just part of life. It's part of growing.
Yeah. And everyone is living the way that they feel like is the right way to live. Because if you didn't feel like it was the right way to live, you would do it differently. And so I think the decisions that we're making are the right decisions. And I hope that the way you're living, that you feel like you're making the right decisions. Because we all want to do the best for our families. If you have any prayer requests, we'd love for you to go put them over on our Instagram page or in the comments of this video if you're watching on YouTube. If you would mind giving us a review on Spotify, that would be amazing. I haven't checked, but I don't think we have any reviews yet. So go be our first one.
I think I left us a review.
That's so bad. I didn't even think about that. I wonder if my sister's left me a review or us a review yet. My sister's like our biggest fan. So I bet she's already left us a review. But Go leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. We are Related by Marriage.
We're related in Christ.
Join us each week as we chat all things related to motherhood.